Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. If you know me at all, you know that I'm a bit of a sucker for high variance divination cards, and at the moment the transformation is really cheap. I picked up a good number of these cards for 1 chaos each. The rest of them I ended up getting in bulk at 5c each, so this 50 divination cards did not cost me very much to put together. This is the sort of thing that can be a lot of fun. Getting a 2 implicit corrupted unique usually ends up providing rubbish, but sometimes you get something truly amazing. And Fated Uniques are an interesting pool. There's a few that have a fair bit of use. So without further ado, let's turn them into Lily-Roth in my hideout. I'm on a character that is over level 80. That is important because it will restrain what you can get. First up, we got the Stormwall. So that's the upgraded version of the Stormheart. That has a decent typical implicit, the block chance on a staff, and it's got 5% attack speed and a bit of cold damage instead. I don't think that's particularly any good. I can't see anyone wanting to use that, especially given you'd need to 6-link it. So we're going to call that one trash. Second, I got a Stormwall. And again, it is exactly the same problem. It has one of the same implicits. And yeah, unfortunately, that is complete and utter rubbish. Chobacan, increased AoE and endurance charge on stun is kind of cool, but doesn't fit this item. Basically, because this is a 6-socket item, it is a lot worse to have double corrupted without great implicits. It needs to have truly extraordinary implicits to be worth spending all of the currency necessary to make it into a 6-link, which you can do with Varich's crafting bench. Kaum's Way is the upgraded version of Kaum's Ring. This is actually kind of good, this item, and we got 9% increased attack speed. I feel like this is a bit of a hit potentially. Need to check that out. How's it on the other rolls? Unfortunately, it's only 2 life gain on hit, which is disappointing, but that is still reasonably solid. And you call that one a bit of a win after 3 losses in a row. We got another Stormwall, and guess what? It's 2 of the same mods. Actually, it's got 1 mod from column A, the added cold damage, and 1 mod from column B, the added crit strike chance. It doesn't even have the attack speed. This one is completely comprehensively crangled. The Tempest here is going to be disappointing as well, I think, although that is a perfect roll, 50% attack speed. So that's a perfect roll with a bunch of cold damage and frenzy on kill. I don't think anyone wants this bow anymore, but if they do, I have the best one of them around, and maybe they might actually want to 6-link it. So yeah, that's an intriguing item. Probably, again, suffers from the whole being a 6-socket item drawback of being corrupted, but it's interesting. Here we go with yet another Stormwall. The game is really trying to tell me something, and that something is that I need space in a dump tab set aside for all of this rubbish. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 can go there. Now we can go and actually pull that one out. Trade divination cards, and we'll get that one out. So cold damage and cast speed on that. Blech. Amplification Rod is interesting. This has 3 sockets, which means it's much cheaper to upgrade it. Instead of having the typical increased caster damage that's pretty low tier on a spiral wand, it's got 17% AoE, which is good, and damage penetrates 9% elemental resistances. I actually think this is fairly good. This weapon is really surprisingly good in conjunction with the Squire, and if someone is using this item in conjunction with the Squire, then they're going to want my 2 implicit corrupted version of the other ones on the market. So that's an interesting item that could do something powerful. Unfortunately, one drawback with the Amplification Rod is that it is absolutely murderous on mana because of the way that it's got 3 built-in support gems. You'll end up being a 9-link with Squire, and that is brutal on the mana. But I'm kind of happy with that one. That's a win. That is, again, even though it's Onslaught is a very strong mod, it is not strong on a minion item. Like Chobacan has never really had a place. It's this weird hybrid of I want to be both a minion and an attack build. I'm not good enough at either, and the mods on this don't play to its strengths, so that's a dud. And our last one is a Death's Opus. Socketed gems are supported by level 10 blind is decent. 3% increased attack speed is decent. Nothing fantastic. This is just sort of okay. Ultimately, I don't think Death's Opus really gets there anymore, and I don't see anyone really wanting to 6-link that. However, Amplification Rod can definitely be made into a 3-link, which I will do now just to check the price of it. I can't remember how much this costs. 3 linked sockets cost only 3 fusings and 3 vials, so basically nothing. And there we have it. Amplification Rod and Kaum's Way were the decent hits. Then we had the Perfectly Divined Tempest was an interesting hit that's probably not good enough, and a bunch of Total and Utter Rocks. Still, that Divination card's a lot of fun, and I recommend getting a few of them and turning them in. I don't know if you can still get Atziri's Reflection from this item. I don't think you can, but I can't confirm that either way as yet. Clearly, sample size too small to say much. That's all I got. May Valobs have interesting results.